Hi there, welcome to Placeaholic. In today's video, we'd like to show you the 20 best places to live in Nebraska. With a whopping 50 states in total, let's just say that finding the perfect place to live in the United States is definitely no easy feat. While there are hundreds if not thousands of amazing places to move into that will work just fine, there is no place like home, and finding that needle in the haystack can be quite a hassle to say the least. As such, we decided to give you a helping hand, offering you another list of the best places to live in, depending on the state that you actually choose for yourself. For today we have decided to cover Nebraska, the state that is oftentimes eclipsed by South Dakota and Kansas. This is quite sad as there are well over 1.9 million people that currently call this state home, and for good reason too. There are lots of amazing towns for you to move into here, each of them beautiful in its own way, and in this short guide we will give you a brief rundown of the top 20 places that we personally believe to be the absolute best options you may have in the Cornhusker state. With all of that being said, let's hop right into our first pick of the day. 20. Waverly. The lovely little town of Waverly is known for being one of the most quiet and laid-back towns in the state, which is already saying a lot considering the fact that this is Nebraska we're talking about here. You immediately get access to some beautiful green spaces here that you can visit anytime you want, including the Wayne Park and the JC Park if you're feeling up for the jog. With all of that being said, the median home value here is relatively affordable, costing you about $154,000 in total, which makes this a very amazing option for those that aren't exactly made out of gold. If you're just looking to settle down temporarily, you can always just rent an apartment for yourself, which you'll be happy to hear only costs you about $592. 19. Blair. What started off as just any other small town in a small state became one of the most beautiful places in the US for sure. The idea behind Blair was first cooked up back in 1869, and although it was only really meant to be a cross between the river and the north of Omaha, it quickly became one of the best places you could live in this state. Blair has a total population of about 8,000 people right now, and while it does feature a relatively small town vibe, it also has a very friendly and accepting community which is pretty much always ready to help you out in your time of need. 18. Wahoo. Wahoo more than earns its spot on our list as it is by far one of the most affordable places to live in Nebraska. Usually, places that are very cheap tend to give up on a lot of amenities, in order to keep those prices down, but Wahoo does the exact opposite somehow. Despite the fact that the median house here is about $135,000 or so, it also has more than a handful of amenities for you to choose from, including a very good school system, low crime rate and of course, the incredibly friendly and accepting community that is waiting for you with open arms. 17. Auburn. Auburn may seem like your standard small town, but it actually does feature a lot of amenities that are rarely if ever found in places that have such a small community to begin with. There are only about 3,336 people that call Auburn their home as we speak, which in itself is not that surprising since it is quite a small town. What is surprising though is just how many incredible amenities the town has to offer, including a 24/7 entertainment center that features one of the best nightlife experiences you will ever take part in. Overall, if you are a young millennial that wants to get a taste of the sweeter side of life, you can't go wrong with Auburn. 16. Norfolk. Norfolk is a pretty small city in the northeastern side of Nebraska. You can find it around 112 miles northwest of Omaha, and around 121 miles to the north of Lincoln. While the town may feature quite a pretty large population of about 25,000, let's just say that it still feels very welcoming and tight-knit as a community, especially so thanks to the attention that the farmers market has gotten around the area over the years. Instead of going for old and stale meals, why not opt for the weekly farmers market instead where you can get fresh meals and good deals, while also meeting a lot of your neighbors and making friends at the same time. 15. Ralston. There are a total of about 5,997 people living in Ralston as we came up with this list, and yet these numbers are sure to boom a lot over the next couple of months, as more and more people have started to realize just how amazing of a place Ralston is to begin with. It is oftentimes referred to as one of the best places to live in Nebraska, especially due to its amazing schools and the fact that it does feature an affordable cost of living and practically non-existent crime rates. Couple that with the fact that this is a very diverse place to live in, and you can instantly see why so many people prefer Ralston over any of the other options we have on this list. 14. Bennington. Bennington is a treat to visit with your family, but if you are looking for a place to permanently move into, you are rarely going to find a better option out there. While there are only about 1,600 people currently living here, you will surely fall in love with this village, mostly because while it does look relatively small from an outside perspective, the moment you actually settle down you will find this mini suburb to more than match any requirements you may have. It is a beautiful place to live in, to say the least, and not only that, but the price of living is more than worth the price of admission alone, and the people here are just some of the friendliest you will ever encounter for sure. 13. Sidney. If you are looking for a more affordable place to live in, the Sidney will be the perfect place for you to move into, since the median home value here is of around $125,900 per average. Couple all of that with the fact that the mortgage here is extremely affordable, and the streets are super safe, and you can immediately see why this is so high up on our list. The median income her household may be a bit on the smaller side, with each family bringing in around $61,667 per year, but let's just say that it is more than made worth it by just how affordable living is in here to begin with. 12. Aurora. Not many people actually know about Aurora, and while that may be surprising for those that live here, we are sure of the fact that this will change within the next couple of years or so for sure. There are about 4,469 people currently living here, and even though that may not sound like the largest community ever, it is a very welcoming one, as most people here will literally wait for you with a warm pie to greet you when you settle in. On top of that, the median home here costs about $130,500, which makes this one of the more affordable options here to begin with. 11. Gretna. Gretna is quite a small town that features a population of only about 5,000 or so residents. Despite this though, the area has been slowly yet surely been growing over the past couple of decades, while also managing to maintain its small town charm above all else. You can expect to come across more than a handful of amazing amenities here that are unique to Gretna, including Vala's pumpkin patch and apple orchard, which is always super popular with both tourists and locals alike. 10. Seward. With a total population of about 7,100 people in total, Seward already manages to check off all of the requirements that you may have without as much as batting an eye. We are talking about some of the best health and fitness facilities in the state, and if you prefer to get your cardio and outside in the fresh air, then you can always just go hiking on one of the dozens of trails available here. The median rent here is exceptionally low, and while it's not the most affordable place to live in, you can always just make your way to Lincoln very easily, which makes it worth it if you want to find a good job that pays very well. 9. Chalco. Lincoln may be the state capital of Nebraska, but if you prefer a more affordable option, you could always just go for Chalco instead. With a median home value of only around $138,000, and a median rent of about $730 per month, you can quickly see why this is such a great alternative to Lincoln, to say the least. If you want to move into a suburban home that costs about as much as a small town home, then you should definitely consider Chalco. 8. Wayne. Going back to the small and friendly communities that Nebraska has to offer, we have Wayne, quite possibly one of the most charming places to live in here. It is exactly what it sounds like, extremely friendly, cozy, and while it may not have as many amenities as a lot of the other options on this list, it still more than earns its place on this list, thanks to how gorgeous the scenery is around here, alongside just how affordable it is to live in to begin with. 7. York. York is nowhere near as massive as some of the other options on this list, but that doesn't make it any less amazing to live in. Some of us prefer to live a more peaceful life, away from the noises that pretty much steal your nights away in places like Lincoln. Couple that with the fact that a home here will cost you about $126,900 or so, and it doesn't take a genius to see why York has been referred to as one of the top places to live in the US. 6. Bellevue. If you want a more suburban area to live in though, then you'll find it quite hard to find a place better than Bellevue in Nebraska. Right now, it is actually the perfect time to invest in a home in Bellevue, because you can find more than a plethora of houses here for less than $50,000. These houses are also decent to say the least, as we are talking about 3-bedroom and multiple bathroom properties right here. With that being said though, the prices are sure to skyrocket soon, so you better invest into moving in here as soon as possible if you want to make a huge profit in the next couple of years or so. 5. Omaha. Omaha can be found right in the heart of the USA, around the eastern border of Nebraska with Iowa. It is by far the largest and most popular city in the state, and that's because as many as 440,000 people live in currently. You can easily find a good school for your children in Omaha, since there are well over 150 of them in total to pick from. And not only that, but the average home here is relatively affordable, costing you about $199,950 per average. Of course, we don't even have to mention the job opportunities and the numerous entertainment facilities. 4. Kearney. If you are on the lookout for a smaller town that features more than a handful of amenities to pick from, alongside some of the best schools in the state and a non-existent crime rate, then Kearney may be the best option for you. It is actually the 5th largest city in the state, yet it still managed to preserve its small-town vibe, and because of this, even with as many as 35,000 residents in total, Kearney still manages to come out on top, stopping just shy of being one of the top 3 places to live in Nebraska. 3. La Vista. Despite the fact that it is a relatively younger suburb of Omaha, La Vista still offers some of the best amenities your money could get you. On top of that, it is relatively affordable to live in here, and let's not forget the fact that it is part of the highly ranked Papillion La Vista Community Schools, which has been offering teens a chance at living a better life for a very long time now. Don't forget to check out the Salute to Summer Festival and Parade while you're here too. That's where the fun really begins and where you can really get to know your new neighbors. 2. Lincoln. As the state capital, let's just say that it's no wonder that Lincoln is on this list to begin with. It is home to well over 269,700 people in total, and while this does mean that it has a slightly higher crime rate than we'd like it to have, it is still a very safe place to raise your kids in. The median home value, strangely enough, is quite affordable, resting at around $147,100, and you have plenty of homes to choose from here too. For around $245,000 you could even buy a pretty luxurious 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom family home, although you can also find plenty of decent options under $100,000 too. 1. Papillion. Taking the front stage and center for our list, we have Papillion, our personal favorite place to live in Nebraska. While it may not be an inner-city area, since it's nestled in the outskirts of Omaha, Papillion has a ton of beautiful natural places to visit and play around in, including the Terra Hills Golf Course and the Walnut Creek Lake for that matter. The community here is incredibly accepting, and you'll be happy to hear that the school system here is unmatched in the state alongside its non-existent crime rate. Nebraska is one of the best states to move into if you want to live a good life and also not have to worry about how much money you're throwing around at all times. It is a very affordable state to live in, and while there are more expensive options on the market, even the state capital itself comes very cheap, which is a testament to how well balanced of a place it is to live in to begin with. So, no matter which of these places you choose to visit or move into yourself, let's just say that your wallet will thank you regardless. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click that like button, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.